Welcome back to sort of my review of Resident Evil 7. No, not Village. I don't have that game yet. But I have been playing a large amount of RPGs lately. And at the beginning of the week, I was kind of like burned out. Last week, I beat Star Ocean First Departure R, and that was a great RPG. But I wanted to do something totally different than RPG. And of course, with the hype around the launch of Resident Evil Village, I was thinking to myself, you know what, let's just try Resident Evil 7. I have heard so many good things about the game. I did initially want to play that game on VR, but I bought a VR, didn't really like it that much for the price it cost, and I sold it like a month later already. But I did pick up the game when it was pretty cheap. So on a night, or evening, night, don't remember, because you have to play, I mean seriously, you have to play a horror game like Resident Evil 7 when it's dark. You don't play it now, that's not cool. So I played it in the evening or the night. I started the game, and I have to admit, the first thing that I saw or thought about was, this is actually pretty creepy. You start in the house, etc., and it is creepy, like it's creepy as hell. And I played it for about an hour and a half, and you eventually get to see the dad and the Baker family, and it felt a lot like Outlast. I played Outlast a little bit, where you have to run away and hide quite a bit. And the day after, I remember at work thinking to myself, do I really like this game? I mean, do I really like that I have to run away and hide the entire time? And even though you do have a pistol, you can't kill him. He is basically immortal, unbeatable. The whole Baker family is immortal, and that's the whole point. The whole mystery around the game is why? Why can't they die? And that is one of the aspects I really liked in Resident Evil 7. The whole mystery surrounding what the hell is happening, what is going on, and I honestly loved it. And damn, at the end, everything comes together and you actually get answers. Not a lot of games do that, especially not horror games, but you do get answers, so I was really satisfied when I finally beat the game. It took me 12 hours to beat. But as you can see, or you haven't seen, because not many people actually saw the video, I did stream the game. I did say, okay, let's just keep going, let's just keep playing, and I streamed the game. I thought, maybe that's gonna help me a little bit, and it did. You finally get to a point where you see more monsters that you actually can kill, and especially the basement. Everybody probably knows the first time you go into the basement in Resident Evil 7, that was scary as hell. That was pretty scary. I'm actually a guy who gets scared pretty easy, I guess. So I was really creeped out, and I was sitting here alone. And every sound that's going outside creeped the hell out of me. But seriously, Resident Evil 7 really is a scary game. To me, it's one of the best horror games that I've ever played. It's up there with Silent Hill 1 and 2. Those are like the two only games that really scared me. There were a couple of portions in Dead Space that I thought was scary, but you know, Dead Space, you get a machine gun, sort of, you have weapons, it's not that scary. And with Resident Evil 7, you eventually do get better weapons, you get more ammunition. At first, it's really hard to get ammunition, but you will get more and more. And I didn't really felt like, okay, now I can just run and gun. You do have to save ammo. The bosses are pretty tough, and even though I did play it on easy, yes I did, I still figured that the bosses were pretty tough. You needed a lot of ammo for the boss, at least I did. As I mentioned, it took me 12 hours to beat, and just at the right spot it ended. Like, just in the moment where I thought to myself, this drags on a little too much, bam, it ended. I'm like, okay, that's really cool. The last part of the game, the last 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, I loved it. When you actually play with the other character, holy damn, I really, really enjoyed that section of the game. And the end section of the game, I highly enjoyed it. That's kind of it, I guess. Graphically, I did not know that PS4 games could look so good. You definitely see that it's a little bit sluggish, like it runs at 30 frames. I'm not saying that there are frame rate drops, it's just that compared to other Resident Evil games, it does feel that you play a little bit slower, a little bit sluggish, but that's of course what they've done on purpose to make it more intense, I guess, to make it more scary. And it definitely is. It's a really, really scary game. A really enjoyable game. I have not dabbed into the DLC. There's one DLC that you get for free. I haven't played it. Not really. I don't really care about it that much. But overall, I highly enjoyed Resident Evil 7. And that game has made me so hyped for Village. Like, honestly. I was kind of hyped for Village because of, you know, the tall, busty vampire lady, but I'm really freaking hyped for Resident Evil Village right now. I've heard that the game is fantastic, it looks amazing, and even though my plan is to play it on PS5, because I'm getting the PS5 probably next year, I don't know if I can really wait. If I see a copy for like 20 bucks, I probably pick up the PS4 version. I have read that the PS4 version is really good. It doesn't run at 60 frames. There are a little bit pop-ups in that version of the game compared to like the next gen version that runs, I think, at 60 frames and looks really smooth, etc. But if the game looks as good as Resident Evil 7, I don't mind it at all. But we shall see. There are so many games that I still need to play that are coming out. So maybe I will forget about Resident Evil Village up until I get a PS5. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember Resident Evil Village you want to play. The only downside that I have heard though is that it seems that people were so scared and creeped out from Resident Evil 7 that Capcom actually made Village less scary. Why would you want to do that? I mean, why would you want to do that? But yeah. So leave it in the comments below. Did you play Resident Evil 7? How did you like it? Did you play in the dark or did you play with the light on? And have you played Resident Evil Village or are you planning on playing Resident Evil Village? Leave it in the comments below. Like, share, comment and subscribe, hopefully. And like always, you're gonna see me next time.